Hello, welcome to Mallard Matinee, where we're going to turn it up to 11 because we're doing a review of This Is Spinal Tap for our music month here today in this episode. Hey guys, yeah, we are doing music month this month, all month, and we are we're talking about movies.
Not half a month,
Yeah.
not 2 months, 1 whole month.
We're talking about movies that revolve around music, not exactly biopics. They can't be about real people anyways. But yeah, just movies about music, like bands or...
And you told me not musicals either. So.
Not musicals either. That is
Because I was going to do a Muppet movie or something. I was like, I need more musical. I don't know if that would count.
I don't know if Muppet movies are musicals, any of them. They have sections. Like,
yeah.
You can have a song.
I still don't know if it would count in this vein of category that you were looking for.
But yeah, so we are talking about This Is Spinal Tap from, I didn't write the year down, 1984?
84, I do believe it is, yes.
1984.
42 years ago.
Yeah, but before we get too far into it, want to tell me about who you are and your history with this movie?
So I am Country Boy, and this is a movie that for many years I had known about, I hadn't seen, I knew who had directed it, and I knew that it was a mockumentary, and as a fan of like The Office and Parks and Recreation and all that stuff, I was always interested in seeing this movie, because people, it had a big cult following. I don't know if it was huge when it came out. It might have been big back then, but I know it has like a big following after the fact, and people talk about it being like one of their favorite movies, and so yeah. I was always interested in this movie. So I think I saw it for the first time maybe 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, something like that. I quite enjoyed it, and then for the second time, I just watched it like about a week ago, just to watch it for this review.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I'm Lewis Lightning. This is my pick for the month. But yeah, for this movie, like whenever it came out, like 84 obviously wasn't live.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have anyone that I knew personally who was like super into it or anything, and no one ever recommended it to me. Mm-hmm. But I had seen like people, online, critics and stuff talking about like, oh, this kind of Spinal Tap, and they do lines and stuff like that. Like definitely, like you were saying, that people always kind of talked about the film.
Yeah.
Like I think the really first time I got to know the band was in that Simpsons episode where they show up. I think it's the auto show they call it, and they play in Springfield, and I was like, why is this like? Because they had the Chili Peppers on before, or not? Maybe not before, but it's one point.
Yeah, in another episode. Yeah,
they had a lot of other.
They had Aerosmith.
Yeah, they had a lot of other
real bands.
I'm like, how come I've never heard of Spinal Tap? Like I know Led Zeppelin and other stuff like that, who they're clearly derivative of.
Yeah,
and I was like, I never heard of this band, and it was kind of like, oh, these guys are talking about Spinal Tap in this movie all the time.
Yeah,
I didn't know. Again, I thought it was like a real band.
And you know what? There's albums too. Like they have an album out there. I mean, it's obviously the album of the movie, but you can buy a Spinal Tap album, and you can actually have like the songs. Which I'm thinking I might download a couple of these songs, because there's some pretty good ones in there.
But yeah, so like I eventually figured out that it was a movie, not like a band, like not a band, a real one.
Yeah.
And then I watched it for the first time like probably close to a month ago now. I watched it for this. So I thought we were gonna get get together a little earlier.
Yeah.
Didn't work out.
Summer's a little hard. It's a little hard.
So we'll get into the cast. I should have pulled it up, but
I do have if you want.
Yeah, you're always.
So Michael McKean, he plays David St. Hubbins.
Okay, he's the blonde one.
The blonde one, yeah. He's probably the most recognizable. For me, he's the most recognizable actor of the group. Anyways.
Not for me, but it took me a minute because he's so thin here, and I've seen him more recently. Like probably like end of the '90s is when I started noticing that actor, and like he's a lot bigger now.
Yeah,
like,
most recently that I've seen him is like the prequel to Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. He plays Saul Goodman's brother. And he's excellent in that show. He's a fantastic actor.
I feel like I've seen him in something else comedic though, and I just cannot pick it. Like I kind of want to say like the Tony Shalhoub show.
And Monk?
I
maybe.
I don't think he is in there, but it's a show like that. I feel like I've seen him in that. But
I'm sure he's been in dozens of stuff. I know I've seen him throughout the years. But I mean, I think he was great. Honestly, I'll say right now, I think all the cast was great. I think they did a good job, especially like knowing that they're not British, but then like portraying like these British rock stars. They definitely have like a Rolling Stones sort of way of talking. The way that I saw it, I had like a Mick Jagger or a Keith Richards sort of way of talking. That's how I saw. That's how they're impersonations or whatever, their accents just kind of reminded me of them, and I thought they did all a good job. And I thought he was the first name that came to my mind because I recognized him. I thought he was fantastic. He was funny. All of them are funny in their own right.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't recognize him at first, and it took a while. But like his acting, like you said, is like they're doing the perfect impressions of those kind of rock stars and stuff. And I liked him a lot. I mean, I think maybe the characters aren't differentiated enough outside of like this one has a girlfriend, this one doesn't, kind of thing.
I would say.
Well, I didn't want to get to anyone else before we finish.
Okay.
You can bring up the next one.
Well, I was gonna say Harry Shearer. He doesn't have a lot to say. He's the bassist, and he doesn't have a lot. Yeah, the other two are like the two main actors. I would say they're the main part, the lead of the band. Yeah. He's like on the side. He's the bass guitar. He has like the double bass that he plays sometimes too.
I instantly recognized him. Like that's the guy. I was like, boom, that's Harry Shearer.
Well, yeah,
as soon as he was on screen.
You even talked about the Simpsons right there.
Yeah,
so. I love his mustache, man. That thing.
Oh, he looked great.
That thing is awesome.
That's what he should always have.
Exactly. Man, mustache rides be crazy with that guy.
Which I like. Again, I liked him too. I liked him a lot. But like you said, he's the third string. Like he doesn't get enough. I want to see more of him. Like
I thought it was good that they focused on more on the first two, and he was there for like whatever extra comedic stuff they wanted to add in. You know, he was there for the extra stuff.
I do understand he's not going to be on par with the other guys. They're the story.
Yeah.
But I still feel like he could have had a little bit more to work with.
Yeah. I mean, knowing who he is, I would like to have seen a little bit more of him too. But also, I think the situations that we see him in are funny on their own. I didn't really need that much more, especially like when he's trapped in that bubble, in that pod. He's playing the guitar and he's just stuck in there,
trying to get out
for the whole song and trying to break him out. That was probably one of the funniest moments of the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then we can move on to the other main actor, Christopher Guest, who plays Nigel Tufnell.
Yeah, I like him too. Like him and Davidson Hubbins, that character.
Yeah.
Like they're like you said, the two leads basically, and they're friends. But then they also have like the girlfriend that kind of separates them.
Yeah.
But they're both good, and like I feel like they're kind of like the same coin, like two sides of the same coin.
Kind of, yeah.
And they're like, if you ask me what's different between them, it's only the girlfriend that I could think of. Like they're equally like on the same wavelength in terms of brain power. And
Pretty
stuff.
much, yeah. They've been together for so many years. They even said that they're closer than brothers. Like they've been together for so long that they grew up with each other, and they are very much the same type of character. And there's not too much to differentiate them. Like they don't have a mustache like Hank Azaria.
And I probably didn't recognize him the most, but then when I kind of looked into it more, I was like, oh, he's Count Rugen from Princess Bride.
Oh.
He plays that so much more seriously than this.
Yeah.
And then he directed Almost Heroes.
Directed Almost Heroes.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that.
He did. He actually has a bit of directing. That's the one that stood out.
That's a fun fact right there.
Yeah. So he was good too. Yeah. He does the line and turn it all the way up to 11.
Yeah. He has actually. I like that. And there's also the moment where he's like talking about the sandwiches. He's like, "Look, you can't fold it."
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what this is.
Too big.
Like the meat and the bread, the way the size difference. He's like, it's not the right shape, and he's just so complaining about it. It was like a diva. But he was fantastic. I loved his character and all their characters. And then the only other one that I wrote down is Tony Hendra as Ian Faith, who's the manager.
Well,
who's a very prominent role as well.
I feel like I didn't look him up, but I feel like I'd seen him someplace too. Like I won't say I recognized him, but like his face is very familiar to me. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I thought he was good. He definitely fit the role of the manager. And I think he actually is English. I feel like he wasn't putting on an accent.
David Guest, isn't he English too? Yeah, he is.
Okay, maybe he is.
When I was looking it up, he
Christopher Guest.
Christopher Guest.
Okay, maybe he is then. Sorry.
Yeah, because he was like a lord or something. I was looking up a little bit on him before this.
Okay.
But what's his name? Ian.
It was Tony Hendry who plays Ian Faith. Is his character.
He was just constantly making excuses. Like he's always supposed to be in charge, but I mean the guys are unmanageable. It's not really his fault.
Yeah, he does the best he can.
He does the best he can
with who he's dealing with.
You just got to make excuses, and they're bullshit excuses most of the time. Because it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like what the album cover when it's like too explicit. We'll figure something out. It just makes it all black.
It's the black album.
You can't even see like anything on it. Like you can't even see the words. Like they didn't have any font that was different. It's just all black.
Exactly. I thought he was fantastic. I think he fits in with the guys quite well. I mean, there's also the drummer that comes in, and there's also other the keyboardists, but they don't really have. I don't know if they have names or not. I don't know who they are.
I put the girlfriend above them.
Yeah, for roles, yeah, they definitely have more.
I don't really know
more.
what her name was or anything, but like she's like a tag on. So like she's more than a groupie.
Janine, I think, was her character's name. Something like that.
But she's like David Hubbard's girlfriend. That she's not originally there, but she comes in like halfway in the tour.
Yeah.
And then she's got her own thoughts on what they should be doing. I don't know, she's kind of like a Yoko figure.
I'd say that's probably the idea. She's supposed to be Yoko, kind of like breaking up the band.
And she keeps putting her ideas out there, and they get kind of shut down by Ian and Christopher Guest's character. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, she takes advantage of something that goes wrong, and she becomes their manager for a bit, which I don't know if she's over her head or just because the tour's going bad.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, the venues that she pulls out are way worse than what they were even doing before.
But you're saying the drummer and the keyboards, like, why did you even have them? Like, and the thing is, the drummer's supposed to be a joke. That they always die.
Yeah, they've had like dozens of drummers, and they always seem to die in some way.
But aside from just, like, talking about it for, like, 2 minutes, it doesn't really get played up a whole lot, right? Like, they talk about, like, with the rest of the band, they're talking about, like, 3 or 4 drummers that they went through. Like, one guy was in a gardening accident or something like that. The police said, it's best just to leave it, like, let it be unknown.
Another guy, he choked on vomit, but we don't even know if it was his vomit.
It wasn't his vomit.
You can't dust for vomit.
Yeah.
Another guy just spontaneously combusted. There's a green globule on his seat.
And that's what happens to this one too. Like
did he blow up, or was that a pyrotechnic? And then all of a sudden they had a new drummer.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to blow up, and then there's a new drummer right there already.
It kind of would have been funny if, like, throughout the tour they kept changing out the drummers and we didn't know why.
They didn't do that.
Had they done that, I think it would have added a little more element to the drummer.
It'd be a little bit funny because they do bring it up with him about the guy. Everyone before you keeps dying and whatever. Yeah. And it'd be kind of funny if he was like always kind of paranoid. But he doesn't even do that. He's just...
Yeah, true. Yeah, he was never worried about it at all. So, no, I'm not worried.
And the keyboardist gets like maybe like 1 or 2 lines where they're talking about like, oh, you can take over. I can take over like the rhythm guitar or whatever after that one guy leaves. And it's like, that's about all he does.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have much of a role other than just they have to have maybe that sound in their music,
It's interesting. Not that she's a major character or anything, but Fran Drescher in this.
Fran Drescher, yeah.
I was like...
Well, she was the one that brought up that record that said that it was very sexist. It's supposed to be sexy. We like sexy. No, not sexy. Sexist.
Yeah.
It's different.
So yeah, I guess we can get into the plot.
Yeah, plot.
You've seen it more recently.
Yeah.
I literally have like a page and a half, 2 pages on this.
The plot, it's simple. It's so Rob Reiner is the director of this movie, which we did. I don't know if we mentioned that or not, but he plays a character as well. And that's actually the director of this mockumentary. I wrote his name. Marty DeBerge was his character's name, and so he's following this band around, and it's basically just like. It's kind of like their heyday is in the past. This is a band that's come to America. They're obviously a British band, and they're not nearly as popular as they think they are. And they're kind of diva type singers and stuff like that. And they think that they are deserving of bigger venues and bigger crowds and stuff like that.
So yeah, he like Rob Reiner, DeBerge, whatever, kind of explains how he was like a fan back in the day, and that's how it starts off. He's literally just kind of talking about the band and how he's a fan back then. And then he brings them on, and you kind of see how it goes from there. I have a question though. Why was he wearing an USS Doral Sea cap? Like he's like a Navy cap for the USS Doral Sea, and I was like,
I don't know.
Is that a reference to something?
Maybe he filmed some stuff for the USS Navy at some point. This character.
Yeah. Go. You can keep going. Cause I knew I had a note on that. And I was like, what?
I would just like there was one thing I noticed at the beginning, like showing at their very first show. That we see in the movie, we saw a bunch of fans, and it almost looked like real fans that were going to like a real rock show. I'm wondering if they did that, if they had like real rock shows, and they would bring them out like as like maybe like a halftime show or something, and they would record fans.
Well, I could see like maybe you have like a big, like a bunch of different artists, like a, what can I think of the word for it? For like a group show,
like a Lollapalooza, or something like that.
And then they just say like, oh, we got Spinal Tap here, and the fans are already there. They know the genre, and they're just like, oh, these guys look awesome, because they do look awesome. Like,
Yeah.
they're supposed, like, they belong there, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they did something like that, and then they just played the few songs, or more than likely they lip synced the few songs that they had.
Well, I know they did actually play. I don't know if they played every song, but they did play like their instruments. Like they are capable of playing their instruments.
But all their songs are basically just like about money and stuff. Just give me money. They say it in the lyrics.
The one song I liked was the "Cushion for the Pushing." That I love that. It was just all about this big lady that is. You're talking about all these different ways that he wants to like do her. And I was like, that's awesome.
I feel
I'm
like
gonna download that.
I feel like a lot of their songs were derivative of other stuff, and they just, to me, they weren't that inspired. Like "Cushion for the Pushing" felt like was it "Bicycle Girls" by Queen? Bicycle Race.
Bicycle Race by Queen.
Yeah.
Bicycle. Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, it's just not as inspired, I thought. Because I most of them I could kind of think of a song like, this seems like it's like that song or whatever, but
Okay.
yeah. They come to America, they do a couple shows, they meet with Fran Drescher, who's like the promoter, or I don't know what she is, marketing?
I don't know. I think she's part of the marketing in some way, because she's the one
with the album.
that tells them that they got to change it, because it's about, the album was of a woman on all fours with a leash around her neck and a guy like holding out a glove for her to smell, is what she explained it as. That's very sexist, and obviously it was problematic. It wasn't okay, and they were wondering why can't we do that, because another friend of theirs,
band did it.
But he was the victim in the album, because he was the one that was like being sexualized, not the other way around. It's okay when you're the one being sexualized, not when you're sexualizing female women.
But it's like, maybe there's like a bit of a crowd for them when they first show up, but then you see over time we're just kind of petering out, like the venues get smaller, the crowds get smaller, and there's like, that's most of the movie until like they get the girlfriend shows up. She shows up, and like things are kind of going bad, so people aren't really that happy in the band, and the girlfriend starts saying like, oh, we should try to do these different things. Like she's got like, I don't know, she seems to be a bit of an artist, because she's like drawing all these things, and she's drawing them as like half human, half animal things.
Oh I remember like the different images of them, like a tiger or something, or these weird creatures. She drew them.
They do a really bad show with because they have this idea like they want to have a Stonehenge. They want to have this Stonehenge.
I love that. Well, what's his face? Glass drew on a piece of paper.
Yeah, he drew on a piece of paper what he wanted for this prop that they were going to have of Stonehenge.
Yeah.
But he, instead of writing
Nigel Tufnell. I'm sorry.
Instead of writing the feet, he writes inches.
Yeah, for the dimensions.
For the dimensions. And then, like, the person who makes it brings it in. It's like, here you go. He's like, yeah, this is great. So
shows it to the manager. Yeah, so he sees it.
When are we getting the full thing? This is what you asked for. Look. This is inches. So then they have to go and do the show.
You can't use this for a prop.
So they have to go and do the show.
They do this like whole Stonehenge intro.
But like the musicians aren't even aware of it, it seems.
No.
Like, so they're playing the song, and they're like halfway through the song, and this thing, which is like, you could carry it like a baby. It's so small, it comes down.
It lowers down from the raft.
And there's
supposed to be this big epic moment. And then there's these little people dancing around it too, like leprechauns
like
or something.
Little people, dwarves. So and I think one of them bumps into it.
Were the little people always part of the thing, or was it just added because they have a small Stonehenge?
I think they're supposed to be like leprechauns. I think because they're going to play like a mythical element to it. But they just look stupid. There's this little dwarves going around.
Yeah.
Like I said, one of them bumps into it, and then they get pissed off at the manager, and they kick him out.
Yeah.
And they get the girlfriend to come in, and it's still terrible.
Yeah, she takes over, and it doesn't get any better. And then eventually Nigel says he's walking too.
Yeah. So they do like a show or two. Cause they end up at like
they go to an airport.
The airport? Okay, I was going to say...
Or was there one before the airport?
There's like a military one there. They go to a military base. That's where Christopher Guest's character leaves, because they start playing, and he's got like a wireless transponder for his guitar. So when he plays, that's picking up the song.
Okay, that's where it was. And I was thinking it was an airport, but I guess it was a military base.
Because, the military, whatever, radio signals start coming through, and he can't figure it out. He's just like, fuck, I'm out of here. He just leaves.
Yeah.
And
then... One thing, also, we didn't mention, like, well, when... when Rob Reiner's character was introducing the band, and he was showing some of the old footage and stuff like of the past versions of the band.
Yeah.
And like one of them was like basically just like a Beatles ripoff.
Yeah.
You can see like the evolution of how the band became from like the Beatles to like what they are nowadays.
Well, I think even at one point there was like early Beatles, like Ed Sullivan Show, where they're like the proper haircut and suits. I think there was one point like that.
Yeah, it was very reminiscent of that. It was like 1967 or something that was supposed to take place.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to throw that in there because we hadn't mentioned it.
Yeah, every once in a while you see Rob Reiner come in, and he's like talking to one-on-one with one of the guys about something that happened or some piece of history. Like they go through a guitar collection with the one guy. And,
yeah. Oh yeah. He's describing all of his different guitars. He's just saying like how valuable they are. He's like, that one, don't even look at that one. He's like, you looked at it too long already. He's like, turn your head.
Yeah.
He's like, they're so special, each one of them.
And then so the girlfriend takes over. I think they end up like at a like an amusement park playing like a puppet show or something.
Oh yeah, because it says I told them to put the puppet show after Spinal Tap, because on that venue it says the puppet show and Spinal Tap.
Yeah, and then the old manager comes back. Well, the old other guitarist and the manager both show up at the same time, really, and they kind of reform the band. And it continues, I guess.
Yeah,
it feels kind of hollow, that end.
There's not really a solid ending, which I guess that's why they could have a sequel. How many years later, which came out last year, I think it was, which I haven't seen yet.
There is two. When I was looking it up.
Oh, really?
So there is another Spinal Tap movie like this, like I can't remember what it was called, Spinal Tap something else. But then Spinal Tap 2, which was last year.
Yeah.
The ending continues or something it's called. But there's one in between. There is a one in between, like I want to say it's like 1989 or something.
And it had the same actors and characters.
I just saw that there was the name.
Because I'm wondering if it was maybe a made-for-TV special or something.
Maybe I just saw the name. That's all I can say.
I can see it being that, maybe like the Star Wars Christmas special thing.
It did have Christopher Guest, because that's where I saw it. I went to his filmography and I was looking through it, and there was Spinal Tap. Then a few years later, this whatever sequel, which it wasn't called 2. And then the 2005 one is called Spinal Tap 2, which is weird.
I don't know any of that. I'm just guessing that maybe it's like a made-for-TV just special.
Yeah, maybe.
Not a full-on movie. But I don't know. Yeah. I think Billy Crystal was one of the waiters at one point. They had like those mime waiters. Yeah. I think it was Transgressor.
I remember reading that somewhere. When you said that, I was just thinking like, yes, he is.
Okay, because he was wearing mime makeup and he didn't say a lot. He just said a little bit, but it's just a little bit of words that he says. Like, I think that's Billy Crystal. Yeah. Like, okay, and it's such a small role. It was kind of strange that they would have him in that small of a role, but it's kind of neat because obviously he would have went from this and he would have done the Princess Bride with Rob Reiner as well too.
It seemed like a lot of guys that you said Billy Crystal, Christopher Guest was also in this. Like, I wonder how many guys go with Rob Reiner on. Like, he just liked these people, right?
Yeah, well, I know a lot of directors like to do that. They like to keep a lot of the actors that they've had in the past because they're good to work with.
But yeah, I think like you said before, I have a note in here, like, the funniest thing in the movie was the pods. They do one show where they have like these alien cocoon things. Yeah. They're translucent, so you can see. Yeah. But like, there's the 3 main guys. Each of them have their own pod, and like, one guy comes out strumming by himself at first, and it opens up, and he starts singing the song. And then the second guitarist, like, same thing. His moment comes where he starts kicking in, and then the bass player, Harry Shearer, like, you know what's supposed to happen, right? And he's like trying to play, and it's tight in there.
Yeah,
right?
He's got a guitar like up by his head,
and it's not opening.
He's twisted in there.
He's like trying to push on it and whatever. And then they get like stage hands, and like by the time the song is done, like the last verse they're on, they finally crack it open, and everyone, like, at the end...
Well, they have to get torches to get it open. They were trying to pry it open the whole song. They got torches eventually.
And then at the end, they just all step back in. So, like, he comes out, and he has to go right back in the pod.
So stupid. It was funny. It was probably one of the funniest moments. Also, one thing I noticed while watching the movie is when they had that one like dinner party for Fran Drescher there. I think it was the Fran Drescher one. That 2 of them, like Guest and... McKean, their characters, they had cold sores on their mouths,
I wrote that, but like I said, are those sores on their lips at the party or just food?
Well, they seem to zoom in on their faces specifically. So I found out through doing a little more research that there was an extra scene that was supposed to be in there where they were like following another girl group, and they're supposed to like have, and they like, I guess they had like herpes, the girls, and so they were supposed to have contracted it, I guess, on their face.
Oh, okay.
But they cut out that part of the movie, I guess. We never learned about this girl group that they were also touring with.
Oh yeah, it just seems weird because
as I noticed that, it was like, wait, you zoom in on like his lip and then his lip down there. Like, it was like, why did they focus on it? And then in the next scene they didn't have it.
That's never brought up again.
Yeah, so it was definitely a cut scene where they had the girls had herpes and they contracted it.
What else am I gonna say on here? Because there's really not much else to talk about. This, that's all I really have for this whole thing.
Yeah, I pretty much just write down like moments like that. These go up to 11.
Well, there was another band that they meet too. Like they're in like a, actually, there's that part where they're like trying to get to the stage. And they're like,
they're like amazed.
This guy gets in directions, and they go around, and they come back.
Yeah.
And the same guy's there. Like, you guys didn't go.
you got to go straight down here. You're gonna bear right, and then you'll turn left. All right, okay, we're gonna go.
Yeah.
Then dig big a loop and come right back to him. You guys didn't go where you were supposed to go. It's for like 5 minutes. They're looking for the stage, trying to get the intro music is starting and everything. They can't get to the stage. That was funny.
But then there was that hotel. They were at a hotel, and they couldn't get a room. And then they come across, they're looking at a brochure or something for whatever shit town they're in.
Yeah.
And then they run into that other band who's like way more popular and stuff.
Yeah.
But you never really get to see like anything else other than there is a band that they know that's better than them, and then they never bring it up again or anything.
So one thing I do think that this movie could have benefited from was some actual musicians, so like some big names that would have been at the time, like maybe like an Ozzy or something, or maybe even have like Rolling Stones, and maybe not even that big. It could have been a smaller. It could have had some actual, really grounded a little bit more to make it feel like they were a real band. Which I mean, obviously people did think that this was a real band back in the day because people. I know I've heard people say like, why didn't they use like a more famous band for this documentary? Like, we've never heard of Spinal Tap. They would watch the movie and they thought it was a real thing.
Yeah.
They didn't know that it was a mockumentary.
He's like a young Leland Sklar.
Yeah.
He would have been probably like 50 then.
Yeah, true. I got a few more.
Go ahead.
I just got like Nigel. Like he says that his solos are his trademark. And at one point, and you'll see like him doing like he's doing one of his solos, and he's like strumming his guitar, and then he starts like playing another guitar, and then he like, picks up a violin. He's playing the violin with his guitar, and it doesn't sound good, but he says apparently like that's what he's known for. It's his trademark. Stonehenge prop, Janine, but Jean was the name of the girl. So she was basically the Yoko. They lost another drummer at the end of the movie. I think I wrote down too when they go to Japan. And that's pretty much it. That's all I have for all the funness. It's
funny because here they kind of make it like no one cares about the drummer. He's disposable.
Yeah.
But the other movie we watched for this month, which you can check out that video, they kind of go the opposite way with the bass guitar. They said like the bass guitar is the guy that no one really cares about. Mm-hmm. And they go the opposite way. He's like, well, so what is it, the drummer or the bass guitar? So that's kind of, I thought, for the two movies we watched, that was kind of funny. But I'll talk about more of that on there.
When we get to the other movie that we might be talking about.
So, I mean, good and bad and ugly time already?
Good, bad and ugly, I guess we can get to that, yeah. It doesn't have to be a long episode, you
know? No, I mean, there wasn't much to it. I mean, so I guess I'll start with the good.
Okay.
The costumes and their acting, like, they looked and felt the part.
Yeah.
All the actors were great. Mm-hmm. They like you said, people were fooled. They thought they were a real rock band, the way that they acted and played. I don't know, like you're telling me that this is the first I heard that they were actually competent musicians.
Yeah, actually, I did have it written down. I should read what I actually have written here. The actors were all competent musicians and actually played on the soundtrack too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like there you go. Like I guess maybe they were even more into the part than I knew. They were so good. But that was the highlight for me. I thought that they portrayed those roles. They were so believable. You
mentioned their outfits. One other thing that I had written down too was Rob Reiner apparently was going to be part of the band. He wasn't going to be the director of them. He was going to be one of the band members. But then Harry Shearer told him that he did not look good in spandex, so he kind of opted out of being in the band, and I'll be the director of the movie.
I wonder who he would have been.
I don't know if he would have been one of the members that we have, or just like an extra one that we...
Well, I would say he could do a good roadie if he was like the roadie or something.
Or roadie, or he could have been the keyboard guy that we don't really get anything of, right? He could have been a background guy.
But given how much they changed costumes, you think he could have worn something other than spandex?
Yeah, I don't know. That was just what I read anyways. That Harry Shearer didn't like the way he looked in spandex. And so for me, my good is I like the subtlety of the comedy. It definitely has some of that English comedy, them just like talking about like their band members, like the drummers that they've lost in the past, and it doesn't even seem to phase them. It's like, oh yeah, we've had dozens of drummers, and it's just the subtlety of it's not like in your face, like hilarious, and like even the guy in the pod, and like these go up to 11, all that stuff. It's memorable, but it's not like totally in your face. I like the subtlety of it.
Okay, you go with the bad?
Bad, yeah. Where did I read from?
We'll just work our way back.
Yeah. So bad, I think I already mentioned this, it could have used some real life musicians to ground more. I thought that would have made it feel like more of a real documentary. I feel like I could have had some actual musical artists that would have helped this movie to not feel like it's contained in its own little bubble of these made up artists.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
For my bad, I actually said like the comedy fell flat for me.
Oh.
Like I do like British stuff. I like Monty Python, I like Blackadder, Mr. Bean, QI, which is like kind of like an interview show or discussion show they have. Like I've watched a lot of British shows. This just all felt like the effort wasn't fully there. And like this is how like we talked about how both of us had heard about this movie before we saw it, and it had like a lot of acclaim from other people we knew or saw on TV. They talked about it, and to me it was kind of like your friend who's like super excited, like, oh, you gotta check the, and you watch, and you're like, it's not that great. Like the turn it up to 11, you know, I've heard that tons of times before, and I thought like the deliveries that other people have told me, or you know, you see, you know, people paying homage to it, that those are all better than what it was here. And I was like, they played it out too much.
That's probably the part of the problem too, is that you've heard a lot of these jokes before, you've heard a lot of the quotes. And you probably have a different version of it in your head as well too.
Well, but even like you mentioned the platter food thing, I hadn't heard that before, and I was like, okay, when they first start bringing like, oh, this is kind of funny, but then just goes on too long, and you over-explain the joke kind of thing to me, and that was kind of killing. I'm like, they just don't know when the punchline is to end it.
And so the
timing.
I didn't feel like there was a punchline. I felt like it felt natural. I felt like it was a documentary. Like it was just following their stupidity, basically.
Well, I know, but like, okay, the guy's dumb, and we're still talking about this.
I appreciate it. That's why I thought it was more subtle, and it felt real. It felt more true.
So then I guess we'll go to the ugly. I'm going to say the camera angles and the shots kind of bug me because they kind of make it to be a documentary, but a lot of the shots and stuff they're doing are not, you wouldn't have that if you're doing a documentary, right? They felt out of place. Like that's a shot for a movie, a standard movie, a biopic.
Yeah.
And that kind of bugged me. Like it's more framed and everything like a movie, which kind of bugged me. Like if you're gonna do the documentary thing, stick to that.
Okay, I didn't think that. I didn't really notice it anyways. Maybe if I looked for it. But my ugly isn't a bad thing. Like I think ugly doesn't have to be bad. It can be something that stands out for you as it was a memorable or noticeable thing that was in the movie. And for me, it was Harry Shearer's mustache. I loved that thing. That thing was huge and glorious. Like if you could grow that mustache, you should keep that mustache. Like you said, that's a great mustache.
So usually we get to some critic or our other people reviews before we get to our own. So what he does is he usually gets people from Letterboxd and stuff, then they'll talk about it, and I get stuff from critics off of Metacritic or some other kind of site like that, like Rotten Tomatoes or something. Why don't you go first?
Yeah, sure. So like you said, I do Letterboxd, so I always like to have a low rating, a kind of middle rating, and a higher rating. It's just people that like you and me that want to do your review, write something on the internet, go right ahead. I might pick it up and I might rate it here. But this is a half-star review that this person wrote. Genuinely one, if not the worst films I've seen ever. Ridiculously unfunny toilet humor that only an 8-year-old would find funny. Heavy metal music, that's just me. And ultimately, it has no narrative, no story, and it barely has any characterization. Can't believe I actually sat and watched the whole thing. My God! Okay.
So when he said the heavy metal music, that's me, or?
That's just me. I think he's just saying like my opinion. Like I don't like heavy metal music. I'm guessing that's what he means.
I thought because I was like I do kind of like some heavy metal, some not all of it, but some heavy metal music, and I felt like it's kind of lacking. I don't know. Like
I don't think we heard the same song twice.
No, we didn't. Like, I think their music is okay. Like, I felt it was a little bit rushed, or not rushed, but like generic. Like, they didn't put a whole lot of effort into it. But I mean, it's for a movie. They weren't gonna go and make something grand. Like,
it did feel like a generalization of that type of music. Yes.
Well, and also I'm not sure. Like, is it trying to show that like their songs really aren't that deep?
Yeah.
Or is it just because they kicked it out because this is a movie and it's hard to just make something so great?
I think it's because they're not that deep. Because I think this is a vain kind of band, and they think they're bigger than they are. I think that's kind of what it is.
If they think at all.
Yeah, if they think at all. Yeah, they're all pretty dumb. So that was, like I said, that was a half star. Next one is a 3.5 star review. I think I respect this a lot more than I like it. Don't get me wrong, I had a good time and thought it was clever, but sort of felt underwhelmed. Sadly, I can't sit here and say it's one of the funniest movies I've seen, like so many others can. Still a good film though. So yeah, 3.5 stars. It actually gave it a better rating than I would have thought for how they reviewed it.
I would say I agree with that guy completely, although I wouldn't, except for this rating. Like, what he said, I agree with. Yeah, that's me. I'm like.
And I'll say, watching this movie a second time, I actually appreciated it more this time. The first time I watched it, I kind of felt the way you did. But we'll get to that when we do our reviews, I guess. So this last review is a 5-star review. The blueprint for the mockumentary, and it still is absolutely hilarious. Hard to pick a favorite scene, but I'm going Stonehenge. And yeah, that is a really good scene of the movie.
I think it's either Stonehenge or the pods.
Yeah, and I think it was basically the blueprint for mockumentaries. Was there mockumentaries before this?
I wouldn't know. I just could have been, but not that I could say.
If there was, I don't know if they're as well known as this, obviously.
Yeah.
And I give it a lot of credit for that reason, because it definitely, I think it paved the way for a lot of stuff afterwards.
And like I said, for my ugly, like how I didn't like how it was shot. Like some of the shots felt more like a movie than a documentary, and this is a mockumentary. Mm-hmm. But that's, like you said, like, we just come so far that me going back and watching it, maybe that bugs me, but like I never, I always grew up in a world where we had these things like this, shot this way and whatever. Expectations are a little bit too high, but that's just my experience on that.
So that's my online reviews.
Yeah, so similar to him, I try to get one high, one in the middle, one low, and I don't have to agree with them 100%, but at least I need to understand them, I guess. So I got mine from Metacritic. I guess we're going to start from high and go low. This was rated fairly high on Metacritic.
I can see that.
I can't remember. I didn't write down what Metacritic's overall score was, but like my low was only 75. So we'll start at the top.
Okay, that is pretty high. Yeah.
So IGN, there are too many classic moments in this film to possibly count, and I won't even bother trying to quote lines or describe gags. Gangs. Score of 100 out of 100. They gave it a perfect score.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's a little excessive.
I mean, a lot of movies that get that, I would say, is excessive. Yeah.
But I mean, there are tons of quotable lines, like the gags and stuff, like. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was another thing. Another gag that they had in there where they're going through the airport and Harry Shearer's got like a cucumber.
Oh yeah, because he kept setting up the metal detector.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't really get that. Like, what was the point of that? Like, I thought at first like he had like Prince Albert.
I think it's just that's what I was thinking too.
And I'm like, well, that'd be funny that he has to go into like the back room.
I think it's to show that like rockers stuff their pants. Like, it's a common thing.
But then why would he put the tinfoil on it?
Why he put the tinfoil on it is maybe just so that the juices wouldn't leak down his leg, is my guess. I don't know. I don't know why he put the tinfoil on it.
It feels like he wanted to get caught, and there should have been something there, but there wasn't.
No, I don't think he wanted to get caught. I think he's just not wanting to give up the fact that he has this.
I'd have to watch it again, but I kind of thought he had like a smirk on his face when he dropped it.
No, he looked disappointed when he put it down. He looked like he was disappointed that he had to pull it out.
I know, and then, yeah. It's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was a joke. Like a lot of the jokes in there, like, I kind of get it, but then they just fell flat. So whatever that was fell flat to me. Like, it's good setup and stuff happening. Yeah. Anyways, sorry, my phone went sleep here. From Salon, the group's members come off more like real musicians than parodies. Score of 80 of 100.
Okay.
So I guess they were real musicians. So take that, Salon. Yeah. You were wrong. But yeah, like I said, that was my good, was that they looked and felt the part. The other people thought that too.
I read too, like Ozzy Osbourne and the Edge from U2. Like when they saw this, they didn't realize that it was a mockumentary, and they didn't laugh at it at all because they thought it felt too real, like it was too raw, like it felt like themselves. Like there was a lot of things that happened in this movie that it feels like was happening to them. Like the drummer thing is a thing that happens all the time, I guess.
Well,
I don't know about dying, but losing band members, you know,
Yeah. I did read something. Like I said, I watched this like a while ago now, but I did think like some famous musician was like, "How come I've never been on tour with these guys before?"
Yeah.
But anyways, so then the low. I mean, you already know the score, but TV Guide magazine, hilarious pseudo documentary spoof of a British rock group that was so on target in its satire, many viewers took it for the real thing. Score of 75 out of 100. So yeah, like we talked about that plenty. And that's, to me, that's the thing about this movie is like there's not a whole lot to it. That like everything we've said, it's like other people are saying this too, right?
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, for a mockumentary, like what do you really need for substance? You need a whole lot of plot. Like if you watch other mockumentaries, there's not usually a whole lot of plot when it comes to that.
Well, I would say at least in this one that they should have had like the end of the tour because they go to Japan.
That was the end of the tour because there's a big fan base there.
Apparently.
Yeah, that's how it ends. So it shows like, okay, good, we're still alive. We're able to still rock out.
But it didn't really give anything. Nothing was gained or learned or there was no conclusion to what they all went through.
No, they're dumb idiots. They're going to continue doing what they were doing.
Yeah, I don't know. So then we'll get into our scores. I'll start this time since it was my pick.
Sure.
Like I said, I felt a lot like I was watching someone who, people adore this movie. They like it. And I was just there trying to be nice and polite. It's not bad. It's not terrible, but it's not, what it was built up of all these years to me. So I gave it a score of 5.5 out of 10.
That seems crazy to me.
Well, who would you... Like, is this sort of something for musicians? What, like, would you think musicians would appreciate it more?
I think they would. I mean...
And not just like you said, Ozzy and stuff, but like just, a guy who's really into music.
I'll ask Craig when I see him tomorrow.
Okay.
I honestly do think musicians would appreciate this because I think it does a lot of it does ring true, I think, to them.
But
but I don't think it's just for them. Like I enjoy this movie, but I'm not a musician.
Yeah. Well, I know, but I was gonna say like I don't want to say other documentaries because I don't know how many we watch. But biopics are kind of taking over that thing now.
Mm-hmm.
But like usually they have like something like that they learn or something they experienced, and that, like I said, that's what's to me is lacking in this. It feels like you're just watching. There's no ending to it, right?
I think they were maybe slightly humbled near the end when they saw the crowd sizes and they lost their manager and they got kind of back together.
Well, the thing, losing the manager, they get back together and nothing's changed by the end of it. That really bugs me too.
I think that they're wiser slightly at the end of the movie because they've gone through that experience.
If even the girlfriend and Christopher Guest, whatever, they had like some kind of making up or we'll avoid each other the rest of the tour or something. That would have been something, but there wasn't even that. It's like we're just gonna keep going. I don't know.
I definitely liked it more than you did. The first time I watched it, I probably would have given it a lower rating. I think still higher than what you're saying. I probably would have given it like a 7.5. The first time I saw it like 4 or 5 years ago, I thought it was good. I liked a lot of the stuff that I saw on it, and a lot of it I did know because of things I've seen throughout the years. And I was like, okay, I was just kind of waiting for those beats to happen. Watching this time. It was nice because I already knew what was going to happen. I can appreciate the comedy a bit more, the more subtlety of some of the things. I thought it was actually a lot funnier this time watching it, and I appreciated all the different scenes and all the different venues they went to and everything that happened. So I'm going to give it an 8.5 now.
Whoa.
So this is I quite enjoyed it. It was a much better movie the second time around. I thought it was very competent. I don't know. I'm just shocked at your 5.5 to be honest.
Like I said, there's at least one sequel, maybe 2 sequels.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in watching them?
I want to. I honestly want to watch the more recent one. I don't know about that other one that you mentioned. I'll look it up first to see if it's like a real full-fledged sequel or not. But I actually kind of want to see what happened to these characters after 42 years.
Man, I saw that and like, nah, I'm not really that interested. Like, if I saw the trailer and it's like, this is vastly different, yes, I don't want this again, this experience.
Yeah.
So if it was vastly different, maybe.
I don't know if Rob Reiner directed any of those other sequels or not.
I think he's dead.
I know he died this past year though, so he would have been alive. He would have been alive before this happened though, before the sequel came out. Yes, R.I.P. Rob Reiner. It's very tragic, actually.
Yeah.
Very, very tragic.
So yeah, that's gonna wrap up a review, I guess.
That's one way to end it.
Okay. So you can find me. I'm the Lewis Lightning. I'm on Twitch sometimes playing something. It used to be Wolverine real soon, like next.
Ooh, yes.
Is that
September.
Okay,
September.
September. So next month, Wolverine. I'll be on there playing that for sure.
Yeah.
You can also find out some older videos of mine on YouTube. The Lewis Lightning, all one word.
And you can find me all over the place as Country Boy Niner or Country Boy _9 as well too. Like I'm on Letterboxd where I review stuff, or I'm on YouTube where I look at stuff like this. I unbox stuff like this Ace Duck from the TMNT Adventure Series line. Woohoo!
Should have brought some music.
Can't wait to open them up. I don't know if I have anything. I do have some stuff, but I never unboxed them really.
You could have brought what's his name? From the Goblin King from Labyrinth.
Oh yeah. I guess I could have brought David Bowie.
David Bowie. I couldn't remember his name.
Jareth the Goblin King. I thought about bringing that too because I just unboxed, or I just showed off them anyway. I didn't unbox them. But yeah, that'll do for this episode.
And you can also find us on Wasted Opinions.
Oh yeah, we didn't say that yet? I thought you might have said that.
We mentioned Craig, but we did not say where we know him from.
Yeah.
So Wasted Opinions.
Yeah.
We talk about movies, video games, TV shows, wrestling, food, all sorts of things. It's a grab bag.
Music. Yeah, we talk about music.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just like a discussion. Sometimes we make lists. And sometimes we play games.
Yeah. And stay tuned to this channel for another musical episode coming up where we talk about the movie from 30 years ago, That Thing You Do. Yeah, so that's going to be our next episode after this one. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I wish we had like pods and we could have been in the pods the whole time.
Yeah.
Doing the review, we couldn't get out.
Yeah, I'm going to have Craig as our third guy. Couldn't get out of the thing. You and I do the whole review.
That's why he's not here.
The whole review. Yeah, that would have been funny. He's in the right spot too. That would have been the third pod.
We should film him separately right now in a pod, and we'll put it in a post.
Superimpose it. Yeah.
Well, we'll cut to him every once in a while. Try to get out. But yeah, we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Excuse me. Just want to get that out before.
Yeah.
Before we start.
Nice.
They'll be on there for the outtakes.
Grody.
There we go.
Okay. Check back in 5 minutes to see how Lewis is doing.
I just couldn't open it up. It was just like little bit.